Hey, folks, today we're going to talk about a topic that makes a lot of homeowners slightly uncomfortable. Your kids. Yes, even the adult ones with careers, opinions, and very strong thoughts sometimes about what you should do with your house. Because here's what usually happens: you start thinking about downsizing. You don't say anything, you're just thinking. And then someone asks an innocent question like, "So, what are your plans for the house?" And suddenly the room feels different. The air gets sucked out, and everyone has an opinion. Some are supportive, some are emotional, some are wildly confident about decisions they will not be making. Does this sound familiar? Well, here's the first thing I want you to hear, and I want you to really hear it. Downsizing is your decision, yours alone. It's not your kids, it's not your friends, it's not your neighbors. Yeah, their feelings matter, but their opinions do not outrank your lifestyle, your health, or your financial security. Doesn't mean you ignore them, it just means you lead the conversation. Because when downsizing conversations happen late, guess what? They tend to be a little too emotional. When they happen early, they tend to be more productive. So let me explain what I see most often. Reaction number one: sentimentality. Of course. Your kids grew up in this house. Of course they're attached. To them, it isn't the square footage, it isn't that you've outgrown it or it's too big. It's their childhood and they're looking at it from their point of view. So when you say downsizing, what they hear is we're erasing memories. But that's not what's happening. But it can feel that way to them at first. Second reaction: practicality, whether it's real or imagined. Some kids immediately jump to the logistics. Well, where are you going to live? Will you be okay? What if something happens? Are you going to live next to Tommy or Billy? I knew you always liked Billy more. Well, those questions always come from concern, even if they sound like control. Reaction three: the stuff panic. This one sneaks up on people. When you mention downsizing, the kids realize, oh my God, all that stuff. And suddenly they're wondering what's coming their way. Here's a spoiler alert: they don't want most of your stuff, and that's okay. The key here is communication: early, calm, and clear. Not a big announcement, not a family meeting with slides, just conversations. Here's what I found works incredibly well: share your why before your plan. So instead of we're selling the house, try we're starting to think about what would make life easier and more enjoyable for us over the next phase. That framing changes everything. It signals intention, not urgency, and it invites understanding instead of resistance. Also, and this is important, give your kids permission to feel however they feel. They might need time. You've had years to think about this. They haven't. Now, let me say something gently but clearly. You are allowed to design your life around your needs, not around preserving a house for future visits. I've worked with many homeowners, folks, and many waited longer than they wanted because they were afraid of disappointing their children. Almost every one of them later said to me the same exact thing: I wish we had done this sooner. Because when parents are happier, healthier, and less stressed, guess what? Everybody benefits. And here's a pro tip: have the downsizing conversation with your family early, not after decisions are made. Clarity reduces emotion, prevents misunderstandings, and keeps you in control of the timeline. That one step alone prevents so much unnecessary tension. And remember, downsizing doesn't erase your family history, it just simply moves it forward. Memories travel with people, not houses. Now, in our next episode, we're going to talk about something many homeowners underestimate: the hidden cost of waiting too long, not just financially, but physically, emotionally, and practically. That episode is an eye opener and one that often motivates action without fear. So, before we wrap up today, let me say this. If you've been hesitating because you're worried about your kids or how they might react, you're not alone and you're not wrong for caring. My goal with this channel is to give you, the homeowner, clear, practical guidance so you can make smart decisions with confidence while keeping your family relationships strong. If this helped you reframe that conversation in your mind, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to it. That way you won't miss our next episode in our downsizing series. And remember, each episode's designed to help you navigate selling your longtime home and planning your next chapter with clarity and a heck of a lot less stress. I want to hear from you. What part of the conversation with family feels hardest right now? Emotion, timing, or the stuff? Drop it in the comments below, folks. We read every single one, and chances are your question will help someone else feel less alone. And if this reminded you of someone, a friend, a sibling, a parent, please feel free to share this video. These conversations are a lot easier when we realize that we're not the only ones having them. I'm Tim Dent. This channel is here for you to help you make smart, confident decisions at every step of the home ownership process. Subscribe, follow, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.